What's going on, Atlanta Falcons fans, man? Y'all know it is your boy Antoine Smith. Stopping in right quick to give you my quick thoughts on a tweet about Drake London. Yes, we know yesterday he signed a brand new 4-year, $141 million contract, $100 million guaranteed. And we had a discussion on the live stream shortly after that. And a lot of people weren't happy about the contract. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. I'm one of those guys. I see it. I didn't see it happening, but it happened. $35 million, well, 37.25 at the contract's peak. It's worth up to 150, and at the lowest, the guaranteed money is 25. So he's going to be somewhere in between that range, but I think he gets to the 35 million a year, and that makes him the third highest paid wide receiver on average. In the NFL behind Jamar Chase and Jackson Smith and Jigma, who just signed a deal with Seattle a couple of weeks or months ago, and where the new league year when it started. But um, Mark Zinno, Falcons reporter, he wasn't too enthusiastic about it, and he let it be known. And don't get me wrong, I will give y'all my thoughts on it, but just check this out right quick. Zinno said, "I've been staunchly against paying wide receivers this kind of money for a while now. It's poor cap management, and the Falcons should have paid Bijan first." Ooh, that first line. Ooh boy, the whole world commonly thinks paying running backs is a bad move, and I don't agree with that at all. It's not a bad move. Not in the case of Bijan, who is special, very special. Definitely more special at running back than Drake is at wide receiver. None of this is about Drake as a player. He's amazing in the draft pick. I agree 100% with. Eighth overall, if y'all don't remember when he was drafted out of USC. But cap management brings in a different discussion. You never pay a wide receiver this kind of money. It's not a winning formula, especially when you are unsettled at quarterback. I think Matt Ryan and Ian Cunningham have done a good job at this point, but this one may end up regretting. Ooh. He said a lot with that, man, and I'm not mad with him. Because the funny thing is, I had some of those same sentiments, and I got roasted about it. But y'all got to look at it from this point of view. I tell y'all all the time, and I'm going to break down what he's saying in a minute. Wide receivers is a position that is replenishable. We've had guys like Harry Douglas get 1,000 yard receiving when Julio and Roddy went down. Well, when Roddy went down. Um, then you have other situations where guys like Victor Cruz have come in, I think was undrafted, ended up being a superstar receiver for a couple of years. Then you have drafts that come out every year with top-notch wide receivers that you could probably trade for. But I get it. And this is where I agree with Martin Zinno. I would have paid Bijan first. He's the face of the franchise. And I understand if you pay him first, then you got to deal with Drake's agent as to why he's being paid first when I was drafted first and I've been this and that. I get it. But when you have a superstar like Bijan Robinson and you got to jump out in front of the market, now you've got possibly got to pay him even more money. And the reason why they paid Drake and his contract don't start next year. So I get that part. So he's going to play on his fifth year option this year, which is $16 million, which is Drake. Next year the contract kicks in, and they will have the money. I think they'll have, if I'm not mistaken, over $100 million in cap space next year. So this buys into that. But John gets his contract, and I said this on the show. He's probably going to get every bit of $25 million. Why? So no one jumps ahead of them. He's going to get 23 to 25 million, so no running back jumps ahead of them, and he's going to top the market. Remember, when he came in the league, he was the highest paid running back because of his signing bonus. So now he's in the same situation again. And when you look at what Mark Zeno says, and look, like I said, I didn't agree with paying wide receiver that kind of money, but it is what it is. He's earned it. He was on his way to a record deal last year, and I said that in a recent video. So that part I get. But I just think it could be poor cap management, But the reason why it won't be is because they don't have to pay a quarterback a lot of money right now. And I've said on record, I look, I could see the Falcons being, this way with quarterbacks until they go out and find the right guy 2, 3 years down the road, and that still buys you 4 to 5 years. So what they should do, if they're unsettled at quarterback, build a top-notch defense. Defense wins championships. Defense causes turnovers. They have a strong run game with Bijan. The way this offensive staff is going to run this offense, play action heavy, run heavy, it's a recipe for a winning team. And look, 141 million is a lot of money. But woo, the cap is gonna be okay. So in that aspect, I know he says, it's bad management, but you gotta do what you gotta do at the right time because agents are gonna ask questions, point blank, period. Hey, where's my client's next contract? Where is it coming from? Then if they don't get the answer they like, guess what? We're gonna hear demanding trades and things of that nature, and you don't need that in the locker room. So they had to make a choice. Either they were going to trade him at the draft, or when the new league year started, or they were going to give him his money. Because think about it, look at the wide receiver room right now. Without Drake, what do you have? Absolutely, positively, nothing. You got Kyle Pitts, but he's a tight end. But at the wide receiver position, nothing. So you have to pay who's at the top of that wide receiver room, who's your number one guy. You got to pay him no matter what the cost is. Just that simple. But Mark Zinno, a lot of it I agree with because I actually said I didn't see them paying him $35 million. But hey, I was wrong. I can admit that. But at the end of the day, when he's the number one receiver in the room and you have no choice but to pay him, you got to do what you got to do. I'm just saying. But he put the Falcons on blast about this. And whew, would y'all put the Falcons on blast about this? Do you agree with Mark Zinno at some point? Or do you think the Falcons did the right thing by paying Drake with no questions? Drop them comments in the comment box, man. Let's debate. Let's have fun as always, man. Y'all know how we do it on Sports Machine. This your boy, Antoine Smith signing off. I will holler at y'all soon, man. Peace.